What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Some Call Me Quinn. Thank y'all for tuning in again to the I Snuck In Here podcast. So we are on part 2 of NUFF Said, Who is the Best Batman? If y'all tuned in last week, then you already know that we had debates about Michael Keaton. We did Batman and Batman Returns. So now we're going to dig deep into Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. So once again, we have our co-host Elton E. Williams joining us. He's going to join us to the stage shortly. But it all came about report that Christian Bale is the best Batman. And we just want to have an unbiased conversation, go through all these movies and really dissect them and see who's the best. So without further ado, we're going to get to it. Let me bring Elton E. onto the stage.
Hey, what's going on, cousin?
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Good to be here.
So we are at it again.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the first two?
The first two felt great. Felt really good. Felt nostalgic. Brought back old memories, old feelings. Felt really great. Busted out the 1942. Because those movies deserve that level of quality.
Upper echelon.
This time, it's a little different. I didn't want to bust out the 1942. I don't want to waste that. I went down, dug deep, and I found this crown.
Oh,
but I can't be mad at the crown. What is that? The salted caramel crown.
Salted caramel, yeah.
Because the thing is, I still enjoy it. Much less quality, and we know that. You know what to expect from it.
But that's behind closed doors drink right there. That's behind
the closed doors drink. That's just for you. When no one knows. So that's what we're gonna sip on today.
All right, cool. Well, you know what? I got tequila in the can. That's all it gets for me today.
Damn. I'm not mad at it.
And if it gets too rough, I got one more. So tequila in the can is how I'm getting down. You will not get a bottle or a shot glass from me with these movies.
No, enough said.
Enough said. So, okay, guys. Again, we're talking about the Batmans, but we're not going to do the TV shows or anything like that. We're strictly doing Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, and what's his name? Ben Affleck. And Twilight
and
Boy.
Pattinson.
We'll get to them. So that's the goal. So we're going to dive into it right out the gate. So first up is Batman Forever.
All right. Okay. Let's talk.
Batman Forever. Let's talk about it. I'll let you start it off.
Yeah. So now growing up, once this movie came about, because obviously I was such a big fan of Batman Returns, I was like, all right, let's go for part 3. This movie came out at the time. I remember being so excited about it. That "Kiss from a Rose" song came out. That was like the title track on it. That song hit. Jim Carrey was the man at the time. Like, oh, Jim Carrey's gonna be there. He's gonna be the Riddler. That makes sense. Tommy Lee Jones. I was like, whatever. He's that dude. I didn't really understand that casting at the time, and I'll be honest, I hate it so hard. I hate it so much. But yeah, everyone, they were introducing Robin. I was excited about the movie. We'll dive into that. But
okay, well, let's dive in. Okay, so we'll just do an overview before we get into it because we're gonna break it down section by section. Sure. I probably don't hate it as much as I thought I hated it. So I went back, and that's why I like going back to these movies and watching them again, because like in my head, like I really hated this movie in my head.
Right.
And then I watched it, I'm like, you know what? I don't love it. But I don't hate it. I understood what it was. It still had a little bit of Tim Burton's spirit in it. You could tell that Tim Burton did not release the reins all the way to Joel Schumacher or whatever.
Yeah. I saw his name on the credits. I'm like, oh, he still was a producer on this.
He was still a producer for this one, so it still had that little bit of Tim Burton in there. So I didn't hate it. Once we get to that other film, we'll go a little bit more, but let's stick with this right now. So with that being said, let me just bring him. So this guy here, let's break down, since we are talking about who's the best Batman.
Come on. Sorry, I think he didn't deserve the clap.
Yeah, Val Kilmer deserves a clap.
Yeah, it's Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, tequila in a can, sir. Cheers.
To Val.
To Val Kilmer.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry. That's another movie. That's what we got to review. But anyway, since I get off subject, now I'm gonna start with this. Sure. I think Val Kilmer is probably the only actor that went into this movie like, I kind of want to I want to act for real on this.
Absolutely.
Like he actually like put some effort into this.
Yes.
His Bruce Wayne was very good.
His Bruce Wayne is very good.
His Bruce Wayne is very good.
Thank you.
Like, yeah, it's very good. I liked his Bruce Wayne. I was like, okay, he's a businessman. They actually showed him doing his stuff, like he was running the corporation. Like Michael Keaton's Batman, they had a Bruce Wayne and they had a Batman, but Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne was more like a loon, like aloof. Like he didn't have that business to him.
Business guy, right? I didn't think he ran a whole bunch of corporations and was in it. Like this guy we can talk to.
Yeah. I didn't believe he ran a whole corporate corporations. But Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne, absolutely,
he's running stuff. And when we're talking about that, and I think, because I've always been about that. I'm like, I think people leave him out of the conversation and say he's the worst. I'm like, hold on now. It's Val Kilmer we're talking about. He brought it. One of the things he can control. He can control his Bruce Wayne.
He can control his Bruce Wayne. And I think he did a really good job with that. So I'm putting him up there on the list of Bruce Wayne candidates.
Bruce Wayne, for sure. So like he was. I'm sorry. He was He got really into the brooding, stoic kind of. That man, he's kind of stayed there. Bruce Wayne and Batman stayed there. But I'll tell you why I think it worked quite well is because everybody else went fucking through the roof, over the top, like swung for the fences. So him being down here helped balance it a little bit for me. Yeah.
Understood. So yeah, I do. So now this is Batman. So first of all, we got to talk about the bat nipples.
Sure. Bat nipples, sure.
The bat nipples, because Joel Schumacher always had to have the scene with them putting on the uniforms. And you got to show the nipples and you got to show the ass and the crotch. I don't understand the fascination about that.
As a kid, I don't think it didn't really bother me or I didn't really notice it. I was like, oh, it's been on the suit. And now as an adult, I was like, oh,
yeah, what is this?
Why? This is so gratuitous. It makes me uncomfortable.
But if you take off the nipples, it's a dope costume.
It's a dope costume without the nipples. Yeah.
Take off the nipples, and I feel like they were continuing the Batman Returns costume because it's more polished.
Yes.
More detailed. It's again, you just went too far with the damn nipples on there.
Nipples. But at the time, I didn't notice it. Some people talked about it. But if you look at the actor, right? Val Kilmer's face and the way that his eyes and the cowl frame around his face and everything, and intimidating, piercing eyes, it looks pretty. I think he looks one of the most intimidating.
He had the height of it, so he was tall enough for it. We're not at Batman and Robin yet, but if you look at Clooney's Batman, he's very small. I think he's like the smallest looking Batman in the suit than anything. But I don't want to skip ahead to Clooney. But Val Kilmer physically
looked good as Batman.
Yeah, he looked real good as Batman.
I'm gonna tell you, looked great as a Wayne.
As Bruce Wayne. I'm gonna tell you what I hated right out the gate on this movie.
Okay.
The opening line when Batman's in the Batcave and the Batmobile's coming up and Alfred's like, do you want I packed you a lunch. First of all, he's telling Batman, I packed you a lunch. God,
yes, right.
And then Batman says, I'll get drive-through.
Okay. Yeah, drive-through, take out. Yeah. Why? Also, what are you
You're gonna
talking
get
about?
You're gonna get drive-through. You're going to get drive-through.
Like, first of all, it's just not on its face. It's just not a funny line. It's just not funny.
It's corny as shit.
It's
It's
corny
super.
as shit.
It was so corny. It was the corniest thing in the world. And I'm like, what are we doing? Because we just had these two like, and yes, Tim Burton had its moments, but the overall story was a real story. And then you had like some goofy moments in there. But like Alfred saying that, and then Bruce Wayne saying, I mean, Batman saying, I'm gonna go to the drive-through. Oh, you gonna go to McDonald's in the Batmobile?
Right. I'll get takeout. I'll drive through. What did you say? Takeout or drive through?
He said I'll get drive-through. He's going to go to the drive-through with the Batmobile. Like,
why that? Why do we need that? You still start off that shit being like, oh, okay.
And that's when I knew. That's when I knew like this is how this movie was going to go. Like this is how I knew. But overall, I think we need to have a I know the title is Who's the Best Batman, but like the movie also
absolutely
like makes like the Batman, because I don't think any of the actors that play Batman are bad actors.
No.
It's the movie that they're in.
The movie.
Yeah.
And I was that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it's not fair. It's not fair because Val Kilmer had this. He had a bullshit director.
Mm-hmm.
I'm after seeing these again. I'm so mad at Joel Schumacher.
Horrible.
I'm so mad. And his hand was all on it. You could tell. I could see in Val Kilmer's face. He's like, I'm a real actor and I'm gonna make this good.
Mm-hmm.
And Joel Schumacher was like, no, you're not. You're gonna say these terrible lines. And he's like, I get to see him being like,
I'm gonna sell these toys. I need to sell toys.
Yeah.
You could tell that I need to sell toys. Warner Brother told me I need to sell as much toys as I can. So
to the kids.
Yeah. Exactly. So put as much color as you can put in. Mm-hmm. I don't want a dark and gloomy Gotham. Everything can be at night, but if it's gonna be at night, everything's gonna be glowing in the dark.
Neon. Absolutely.
Neon. All the bad guys, neon, everything, bright colors. I was like, what are we doing? All right.
Need that, yeah.
Let's get down the road here.
Get it down.
So the next one, let's talk a little Two-Face.
Oh God,
Two-Face.
Hold on.
Yeah. Before you do that, so if you watch the original Batman, then you know that this man was originally supposed to be Two-Face. He is Harvey Dent. He's Billy D. Williams, and he was supposed to turn into Two-Face.
Absolutely.
But when Tim Burton left, so did that story with Billy D. So instead, we got Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face.
Bless America.
Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face. I will let you start.
Please don't.
I gotta crack open a can of tequila.
Tommy Lee Jones was even as a kid, I was like, oh, you're so terrible and miscast. You're miscast. Mm-hmm. He didn't know how to, and I don't think Tommy Lee Jones is a bad actor. I think he's always usually very good in his thing that he does. Mm-hmm. He didn't know how to play this role. He's a Two-Face. All right, I'll make him some wild, crazy. I can't like monster, wannabe Joker, but not. Mm-hmm. He didn't know who this character was. He didn't do his research on who Two-Face was. He laughed the whole time. He's like, this giggling thing the whole time that didn't have anything to do with Two-Face.
I think exactly what happens was, okay, first of all, Tommy Lee Jones, fantastic actor.
Absolutely.
Like, so this is not a shit on Tommy Lee Jones podcast, but I will shit on this version of Two-Face because clearly he has never seen any iteration of Two-Face. But I tell you what he did see. He saw Jack Nicholson play the Joker, and he said, absolutely. Oh, okay, I just have to do that. And then since he ended up co-starring with Jim Carrey as the Riddler, he's like, oh, I'll be that too.
I gotta do both those things. He's like, I gotta turn this up. I gotta be this guy and turn it up to this level.
Turn it all the way up to this level.
But that's not what you do, Tommy Lee Jones.
It was not Two-Face at all.
You can't do Jim Carrey. You can't do Jim Carrey.
You can't do Jim Carrey.
And you can't do Jack Nicholson.
And you can't do jack shit if you're talking to me about this movie. Like,
look,
you just can't.
This is one of those where you need to recast on day 3, that, ooh, you know what?
Yes.
We'll still pay you, but we're gonna get someone else.
We're 100% getting somebody else.
He was so hard to watch in a movie where, honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think everybody else kind of did their thing. We'll go through it, but like,
yeah,
he was a sore thumb that stuck out to me.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. It just didn't make sense. He was just that over the top character, and then the script didn't help anyway, because now we're starting that everybody just has their goons,
right?
And his goons have to have his they have their little Two-Face mask on,
right?
And then you'll notice it in Batman and Robin too, that he just comes out of nowhere, like right out the gate. Okay, Two-Face is there. He's already Two-Face.
Yeah.
He's already crazy. Like
right.
They only touched on him and Bruce Wayne knowing each other one time, and that's at the very end.
Right.
When he said, you've always been a good friend. It's like,
when did that happen?
Right before he threw the coins in the air to kill him.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm saying, like, when as a viewer, when did that happen?
Right.
Like, when does this?
Because even the news reports, when they're like, yeah, they say Harvey Two-Face is on the run. They don't say Harvey Dent is on the run in the news. They say Harvey Two-Face. Yeah. So like they didn't even really say that he's Harvey Dent.
Right.
In the movie,
a character that's already, like, there's a lot of characters. I think maybe you don't have to give a walk through a whole origin of everybody.
Sure.
But Harvey Dent turning into Two-Face, he's already an established character.
He's already an established character.
Give us. There's the flashback where they show what happened to him. Kind of, he covers his face.
Yeah,
that isn't.
That's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough for him to go. He's my least favorite thing. He's not my least favorite character. I believe it or not. Like, he's not my least favorite villain in the all the movies. No, he's not.
Sure. Okay.
He's not in. But in this movie,
yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
In this movie, he is the sore spot.
Yeah.
Of it.
But to this point, he's absolutely the worst.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
Next villain.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Sure. Go ahead. Go for it.
Jim Carrey did his thing.
Jim Carrey did his Jim Carrey thing.
Jim Carrey did. He took the Riddler. Like, if you watch the TV show from like the 70s, he took that character and times it by like 1,000.
Absolutely. Which, look, you cast Jim Carrey to do Jim Carrey at the height of Jim Carrey. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, and him being cast as the Riddler was a great casting choice for that time.
That time, right? Exactly.
For what this Joel Schumacher had envisioned for this movie and what he was doing with it, he actually, as wild and crazy as Jim Carrey as he was, brought a level of, like, he still acted. He did his thing. It wasn't playing at it the way that Tommy Lee Jones was playing at something he didn't understand. That, is Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and it was at the time quite masterful, I thought.
It was. So I his performance is great. He's Jim Carrey. They said we need a Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey is perfect for his role. So Jim Carrey did his thing. Now I'm just going to go back to the script for a second. There's some things that bother me. Some things that bother me. Once he becomes the Riddler and he makes it big and he goes to this hairstyle, and then when he, is a competitor to Wayne Enterprises, selling his TV stuff, he has his regular hair again. Like he has his regular hair, and then when he's done with the party, he goes back to this hairstyle. I'm like, how is this possible? It's not a wig. It's clearly not a wig. So
it's your hair.
It was his hair, and it's small, but it bothers me.
Yeah, and I get that. There was way too much about this movie for me to notice that, but that makes a lot of sense.
As a 12-year-old, I didn't care. As a grown adult, I care a lot, and it bothers the shit out of me.
I care so much.
And I hate how all of a sudden he was just, and I think, is it this movie that started it might have been this movie that started the trope of I'm a nerd, and then I turn into the villain and now I'm not a nerd no more?
Catwoman did it, but
Catwoman. Yeah, you're right. Catwoman did. Okay. The Batverse did it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, okay, Catwoman was, but he was like the super nerd though. He was like a nerd. He was like I'm a dumb scientist nerd.
Right.
And now I'm cool. But what I didn't like is that when he came out and now him and Riddler are together. I mean, him and Two-Face are together. Now they have layers all over the place. Like
yeah. Like, where did you get a layer from?
Where did you get
Where did that big thing at the end? Where did that come from? On the rock?
The big thing at the rock is what bothered me.
In the middle. What?
When
did this happen?
It was so bad. It was so bad. Like
yeah. No,
go ahead.
Where did all this come from? No, and like Nigma Tech, which is the it's Edward Nigma Tech that he started. Like it's actually when you think about it, it's actually a good plot. Kind of. It can be a good plot. It could be a good plot. It they didn't delve into it enough, right? Obviously, but we didn't have time. We didn't want to delve into it. But like he just changed up. He created this new technology. Everyone's all about it. Made him super famous. I love how he wanted to emulate Bruce Wayne. And worked for him. Trying to be like, how's my mole? Like I love all that.
The how's my mole is hilarious. How's my mole? Like that's classic Jim Carrey right there.
Right.
How's my mole? Right. When he's dancing with Bruce Wayne's chick, like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Like he was great. What I would have loved for them to do, I think what they should have done when they brought Riddler back, a couple of years ago, cast Jim Carrey again, and be like, I would love to see this Jim Carrey how he is now.
Oh my goodness!
As the Riddler.
This today's Jim 60-year-old Jim Carrey playing that Riddler would have been fantastic because he doesn't need to fight. Like it's not like that would have been great.
My God, like they've been so good. Like I mean, he's just so he doesn't do that crazy stuff. I'm sure he could.
You know what I think on the final episode of this 4-part series
or
whatever. We're gonna fan cast.
Sure.
The roles that we want. We're going to do a fan cast. That's a great one. I love that. All right, let's. I was
just thinking, I would have. So last thing about the Riddler, I would have loved to if they would have had him. He had a few riddles in there, but you remember the cartoon? Like a little more serious. Like he's just so like his mind is really what runs it.
The cartoon had a more subdued Riddler. Riddler. He was more intellectual. Like I'm really
intellectual.
Yeah. He didn't try to go the Joker route because the TV show and this one are they're jokey. They're jokey kind of, but the cartoon one is really good.
Very cerebral.
Yeah. He's a cerebral assassin.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
All right, Riddler. So we all agree that Jim Carrey did his thing.
He did his thing. He was perfect for the role.
Bet him up. Yeah. So the next, here we go. Yeah. So we finally got to meet the Boy Wonder. The Boy Wonder. Batman and Robin.
Let's go.
I really like this costume. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, the Robin's costume.
The Robin costume.
Great. It's one of the best that they did. They went to town on that costume.
Yeah, the one in Batman and Robin is okay, but this one in Batman Forever is like, okay, this is dope. But let me tell you my gripes about Robin.
Okay.
This guy. So just because you're a gymnast.
He's a trapeze. He's a circus trapeze artist.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Because you're
trapeze American.
Because you trapping. That means you are on the level of being Batman's partner without any training, and because you can fold clothes in a really cool way.
Don't forget the foot thing.
Yeah, the foot thing. Yeah, he can fold the clothes with the mop, and he can mop, and he mopped up too. He's very clean. He's very clean, and And when he's at the top and he hops down to get into the Batcave, first of all, Alfred needs to be fired. Can we be in agreement?
You lost your job. You lost your job a long time ago, Alfred.
He's the worst. He's
You're
the worst.
worst.
He's the worst. Alfred is the worst. And every time he let somebody in the Batcave, he was like, "Oh well."
Not remorseful one bit. Well, they should have been there.
Alfred is the worst. But anyways, what else bothered me? So when he gets into the Batcave is going, intruder, intruder, intruder. Let me turn everything on. Let me intruder.
Right.
Let me lift the Batmobile out of the ground. Let me
access to everything.
Let me show you where the bat suits are. This is what I do for intruders. Like, come on in.
Right. Intruder. Here's access to everything.
Here's everything. No. And then you can literally just take the Batmobile. Like you can just drive off with it.
Just be like, cool.
There's no code needed. There's no special key.
Nope, not a thumbprint, nothing. Anybody who sneaks in gets access to the Batmobile.
Can get access to the Batmobile. That's it.
Sure.
And now he's the best fighter. He goes onto the streets. He's the best fighter.
Yeah.
And then okay, so many problems I have with Robin.
Yeah.
And then when he finally gets to Batman, he's like, "It was your fault. It was your fault." And Alfred's like, "You know what? I knew this was gonna happen. I made you a suit. You had the suit waiting."
I took the liberty, sir. I'm sorry, you did? When and how and why and what?
He's not supposed to be in my cave, Alfred. He's not supposed to be in my cave, and you just let him all in my cave. I'm telling you, Alfred is fired. I need to start a campaign. Fire Alfred, because
I took the liberty, sir. Why?
He's like 90 and he's making these dope ass suits. Where are you finding the time?
No time flat. He's just like out of what? This is made out of metal. Did you just what is this suit made out of? You was like, let me do this in my spare time without anybody knowing.
I had some ideas. I've been doodling, and now I'm gonna So that's my issue with Robin. Your turn. Go.
They crushed the suit. The suit. I was they took like how do you make Robin's suit cool? They were able to do it.
They did it. Yeah, they did it.
They nailed that. Chris O'Donnell I actually think was cast very well. I think he's a very good, when he had a little attitude, a little boyish. I thought he did actually a really, really good job, really good casting. Argues with him a little bit. When they have a little In Vogue
cameo. Yeah,
it's cool. And you fight a little bit. I really liked him as a character. I like that they added Robin in. It was time,
It's time now. Like the fact that we can't get a Robin in a Batman movie is crazy right now.
It's time. I don't need the Jesse Batman anymore.
Right.
You've had enough times to try to get it right. We'll talk about whether you've got it right or not.
Yeah.
Bring Robin in.
Robin in.
Yeah, I thought he was a great choice. I liked him. I thought he did a really good job. A good addition.
Okay. So I didn't hate Robin. I hate it when they say a holy rusted metal, but I got the joke. It had to be in there at some point.
I liked it. I liked that actually.
The metal, it's holy.
I actually thought that was funny. Because it's like they're playing at the joke. I thought it was good.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Chase Meridian.
Look.
Go ahead.
Her intro, she was the thirstiest person I've ever seen.
Ever.
She's so slutty right now.
Why?
Why are you acting like this? You're in public.
You are in public.
Why are you doing this?
What? You don't have to be this way.
You don't have to be this way. You got a degree. Girl, you got a degree. You got a whole good job. You don't need to do this.
You sitting here telling everybody else that they need to fix themselves, and chick, you
right. You got real issues.
You got some real issues. And here's my problem. This is my problem with the like the first 4 movies of the Batmans.
Yeah.
they're pussy whips, and it's kind of crazy. Like Chase Meridian. Okay, so Bruce Wayne is going out with Chase Meridian, like dating her, and Chase Meridian is obsessed with Batman, but doesn't know that Batman is Bruce Wayne. And she's literally telling Batman on the side, "Hey, come to my house at midnight."
And you're just like, so you know she's
you know she's going to cheat on you because she's trying to cheat on you with you.
In your face, like
in your face.
You, I mean, I get that you guys are, you're not exclusive, but like, show what he's doing.
When they tried to force the, I think I love her type thing, though, I was like, I didn't get that vibe at all.
No, not at all. I'm like, you've met her, you invited her to the circus.
Yeah.
And then you came in to see her, because you got some shit going on. And now you're in love? What's happening? You've seen her twice.
And then you're in, hold on. So remember, she figured out he was Batman when she kissed him. So she kissed Batman first. And then she's like, no, I'm in love with Bruce Wayne. So you never kissed Bruce Wayne before? That was the first time?
Right.
Because then when she kissed Bruce Wayne, she's like, wait a minute, you're Batman. Yeah, wow. Chick.
Yeah. Also, how good are your host skills that you can tell from one kiss and then another kiss, like, wait a second.
This is the same kiss.
Look, in all my years, I know some lips and some tongue now. Like, how do you know?
I had so many problems with this character. And then it ended again. It ended again with another female knowing who Batman is and has to keep this secret. Like,
why do they always get to know?
I don't know, because Alfred needs to be fired. The moral of the story is Alfred needs to be fired.
Let's make that shirt. That's the t-shirt you need to
make. That is exactly what he said. Let's fire Alfred.
Like, it's like the worst kept secret on earth who Batman is.
All right. Those are the main characters of Batman Forever. So overall, let's get this thing a 1 through 10. 1 through 10. Where are you putting Batman?
1 through 10. Ooh. Because and I'm actually gonna say the opposite of you.
Okay.
I had mad love for this movie growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I've defended it a time or two.
Two or three.
Or maybe even 3 or 17. I watched it and was like, oh no, it is worse than I remember. It's considerably worse.
Oh
no.
It is.
So I was like, oh no. So what I'm still gonna give it wait for it. I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
6.5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Sure.
And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna give it a 5, even though I like it more than I liked it before.
Wow.
That's how much I did not like it.
That's
how much I did not like it. What I did like about this movie is, remember the video game? What was that on Sega or PlayStation 1?
Yeah, that game was great.
The game was great.
Oh, that was a great game. Did I own it or did you own it?
You owned it.
I owned it, right?
You owned it.
Yeah.
The game was great. So the game was great, and then the game also gave us this banger. Like,
man, come on.
There was no reason for this song to be attached to that movie.
Not one reason.
That is not one reason.
It brought it to here. Every time they played the preview, I was always like, I have to go see this movie.
How do you make such a beautiful and serious song like "Kiss by the Rose" and put it to such a goofy ass movie?
This goofy clown show.
Now, if you would have put this song to Batman Returns, it would have made sense. It would have made sense. But you can tell how the studio was. The studio was like, "Oh no, we got to market now. Like we need to sell.
Need to sell things."
We need to sell some things, but yeah, "Kiss by a Rose" is
that thing song there.
fantastic.
It brought some mood. Because of Kiss by a Rose, I think that's why I got the 6.5. And that brought it up.
That's fair. That's fair.
It used to be probably an 8 for me.
I know it was. I'm really shocked that it dropped. So I'm not shocked because I watched it. I knew what I was watching. I'm not shocked at all. I knew exactly what we was watching. I don't know why you loved it so much.
The shine rubbed off. It was coming off the heels of Batman Returns, and I just wanted it.
You wanted it, yeah, and I did too, and I understand that, but I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Batman Forever. Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Let's specifically talk about Val Kilmer real quick. Yeah. As his Batman and his Batman and his Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. Bruce Wayne. What do you give his Bruce Wayne?
I give his Bruce Wayne. I give his Bruce Wayne a 8. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I give his Bruce Wayne an 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I give his Batman like a 6 because I didn't get a fear level from his Batman. His Batman wasn't it wasn't scary at all.
No.
Like people were scared of Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
Like they were scared.
I actually don't really remember Batman. I just watched the movie. I don't really remember Val Kilmer's Batman.
Because his Batman was it was very blah.
I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It was just I just don't remember it.
It was just right here.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
Yeah. Right. He wasn't scary.
Wasn't bad.
His Bruce Wayne, I'm gonna give it a 9. I think his Bruce Wayne is like it was what it needs to be.
His Bruce Wayne's where it needs to be. I'm not mad you give him a 9.
That might be a little high. At least 8.5. I'll say 8.5. I'll say 8.5 because it didn't have as much nuance. He had the like kind of robotic Bruce Wayne businessman. He didn't have really. He was missing the charisma. For sure, yeah, he's missing the charisma.
He was missing the charisma for it. But
I think 8 is right. I think 8 is right.
Yeah, 8 is where I put him. But hey, your vote, your opinion. It's fine.
No, you're right. I agree.
All right, well, let's move on to the. Let me tell you something. I don't want to, but we have to. We got to move on to Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin.
It feels like a hate crime.
It feels like you hate what?
It feels like a hate crime.
Yeah. It is a hate crime. This movie. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be real with the audience right now. I'm gonna be real with the audience right now. Hold on. I need them to see me. I need you to see me really quick. I need you to see me. I am doing this for you because there was not a piece of me that wanted to watch this movie again. If I never watched it again, it would be too soon. So I'm doing this for you. So just know what we go through making this podcast
every day.
But good Lord, that movie. That movie is horrible.
It's trash flavored trash.
It's one of the worst comic book movies I've ever seen, and I had to watch Elektra. So
I don't even know if you can say one of them. Like it holds the title. I think the crown, heavy is the head that wears the crown, and the crown sits upon.
Is it like are we coming to the agreement that this is the worst comic book movie?
If we're being honest, what compares to it? You can bring the worst Marvel movie, the worst Fox movie. What compares to it? Meteor Man was way better than this.
I love you. Watch your tongue. I love Meteor Man.
Exactly right.
You shut your whore mouth. Like
what I mean is,
don't you dare.
I knew that. Get it right.
Yes, don't dare talk about the Golden Lords.
Your whore mouth.
You shut your whore mouth. Okay, shit. This can tequila kicking in, baby. Like,
what's worse? What's worse in this movie? Name a movie. Name a movie that's worse than this movie. I'll wait.
Yeah,
It's for sure the worst comic book movie.
It's the worst comic book movie because I'm trying to say like what movies do I hate comic book wise? Like I hate Elektra. I really hate Elektra, but I don't. But really? I didn't hate the original Daredevil with Ben Affleck as much as I thought. As much as I thought I hated, but I was like, I don't hate it as much.
No,
I do hate Elektra. I do hate Elektra. I don't hate Elektra. I don't think as much as I hate this movie.
You can't. I mean, you can, but you can't.
Whew.
It starts out. Prince. It took. Man, I know it took you a bunch of times to actually get through it. That first 15 minutes is like the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. I think
it's the hardest thing ever.
It's the hardest thing.
When so another scene, it starts in the Batcave. It starts first of all, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, but they both start the same. It starts in the Batcave and then it goes directly to the bad guy.
The bad guy who's already in motion.
So this time it comes up and the car comes up. And now remember, you just got a new partner, right? So now there's two of you. So there's two of you, and now you decide to make a Batmobile that only holds one person.
Right. Like it's a new Batmobile.
It's a brand new Batmobile. It's a brand new Batmobile, and now you want to have a Batmobile that holds only one person.
Wait, were the previous ones? They were also one, right? One person.
No, they were all two-seaters. They were all two-seaters. Hold on a second. That's
embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. Like the original one, because remember they had in the original Batman, what's her name? Vicky Vale was in the car. And then in the Batman Returns, Batman Returns was the same one from the first one, and then Val Kilmer's Batman kind of seems like that sequel. Like when they mess with something that like we really didn't ask you to mess with, but it was okay. It didn't bother me as much, but I still didn't understand it. So Val Kilmer's Batman was this. Yeah, two-seater lights for no reason because like I'm trying to let everybody know I'm Batman. And and then you had this one-seater, which is
that's what it looked like.
This is George Clooney's Batmobile. One-seater, no top.
There was no top. What do you mean?
No top. So we had the top on this one because it still looks like a Batmobile. This is George Clooney's one-seater Batmobile.
Wait, in this movie, that's what it looked like? He didn't have a...
That's exactly. And the opening scene in the Batcave, Robin looks at the Batmobile and says, I want a car. Chicks love the car.
Chicks love the car, yeah.
They said that in Batman Forever. And when he's talking to Chase Meridian, he's like, it's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
Love the car, yeah.
I hated it then. I hate it more in Batman and Robin.
They thought they doubled down.
They doubled down.
Prince,
hate it.
Every line in this movie was a terrible one-liner that wasn't funny, wasn't witty. Everyone just had these one-liners.
Yeah.
And none of them landed. None of them hit.
When we get to, I'm not going to skip to Mr. Freeze, but we'll get to him. We will get to that man, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But let's start with, because we're going in order. Let's talk George.
Clooney.
George Clooney collected a check.
He got that check.
He collected a check.
And you know what? You went from ER fame, TV royalty. You get offered a franchise, Batman. Well, not franchise at the end, but Batman, play a superhero on screen, big movie. You take the role.
You're gonna take the role. Because TV roles wasn't the same back then. Like you were either a movie actor or you were a TV actor, right. and the TV actor was not on the same level as the movie actor. So moving to the movie, yes, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's a superhero. It's Batman. You have to do that.
You have to do this.
Val Kilmer turned it down. Or was he
Val Kilmer,
no,
Val Kilmer turned it down because he had to do something else. Because Val Kilmer's an actor's actor.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not. He probably saw one of the scripts. He's like, I'm not working with you again. I'm not doing this script.
Yeah, he didn't even like Batman Forever. He was just already obligated to do it,
right?
For it. But yeah, George Clooney. Oh man, you talk about phoning in a performance. Absolutely. On it. It didn't help that the script is already horrible, but his Batman is not intimidating at all. Like I said, he's one of the smallest looking Batmans. Like he's definitely smaller than Robin. Yeah, he's smaller than Robin. In a lot of the scenes, you see him smaller than Robin.
Yeah.
Like when he's there's a couple scenes where you can tell that they have him standing on something to make him look taller, but he's small. He's small. I hate this movie so much.
It's so bad. George Clooney didn't, like you say, he just did his George Clooney kind of charming, kind of cool, kind of just like talk his way through it. Like you didn't try to be a Bruce Wayne or Batman. You just did your George Clooney.
He was practicing for Ocean's 11 all the way back then. Because this is nothing but Ocean's. Yeah, Ocean's the prequel.
And like you can only blame him so much. The movie was written like dog shit. Like it's just these one-liners after one-liner.
Yes.
I feel so bad for all of them. Those two in particular. Batman and
my heart goes out to y'all.
I feel so bad for them.
I feel so bad for all these millionaires that
they had to go through.
And Joe Schumacher's in his director. He's like, "This is it. This is the movie. Yeah. This is the one.
This is what I wanted to make.
This is what I wanted to make."
They cut the strings on this one.
Yeah,
I'm about to take off.
They literally cut the strings on this because. Okay, let me tell you some things that grinds my gears about this movie before we even move on. When we move on, I'm gonna put them on the screen, but let's not talk about it yet. When we move on and we first meet Mr. Freeze, they're in the Diamond Heist, the museum or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're fighting Mr. Freeze and his henchmen, who happen to all be on ice skates. But with further inspection, they're on rollerblades, and that irked me too because now I can see the rollerblades. I'm like, oh, those are so rollerblades.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they're definitely on rollerblades. But then, what Commissioner Gordon is like, yeah, they're fighting some new villain called Mr. Freeze. That's what he says to Batman and Robin. Sure. So Batman and Robin goes and fights Mr. Freeze, and then they're in the ice, and all of a sudden they click their heels together, and they just were prepared to have ice skates in their shoes. In the shoes.
Yeah.
I just knew I was going to fight a man that was going to freeze the world, so let me have these ice skates and my shoes ready.
Mr. Freeze, always be prepared. I'm Batman. Yeah. But there was a part there. I mean, it's the smallest little thing, but the wire work in this scene. When Robin comes in, he's all sideways, trying to like land. When Freeze throws the guard up the wall.
He just keeps going.
The gun falls in his hand, and he can't catch it.
He can't catch it, right?
And they didn't recut. They didn't reshoot that.
It's very bad. I thought I was the only one that saw that, but thank you for catching that because it is rough. And this is the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it's so long. This
is the first one. Just to let everybody know, I paused this movie, and we were supposed to record this episode a couple of days earlier, and there was some scheduling conflicts, and I was so happy because I was like, "There's no way I can sit down in one session and watch this movie."
We needed. This is a 3-4 Cedar. Like, you got to watch
I
this.
I definitely did it in 4, maybe 5.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
Okay, let's talk freeze though. Let's talk them.
Awful. Yeah.
Every line he says is a pun.
Everyone.
Every single line is a pun.
And I don't even think they're good enough to be considered puns. They're just like, just shit jokes that someone like crapped out and was like, oh, boom, oh, freeze.
What can we talk about ice? Yeah, cool out. Okay. Like, hell freezes over. We get it, my boy. Like, your character, like, it starts off like he's this scientist and he's trying to save his. So you were a normal person
at some point, right?
Yeah, you were a normal person, and just because you got this freeze thing does not mean you have to have freeze jokes every single line.
So did he say let's kick some ice?
Let's kick some ice. Yes. I will say this again, just like Jack Nicholson, though, Arnold Schwarzenegger got top billing on this movie.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who are the rest of these people?
Right. He got top billing on the movie, and
I'm the movie star. Sure.
He gave
It's the worst performance of his life.
It's the worst performance of his life.
Not that he's some fantastic actor anyway, but
yeah, it's the worst performance of his life. But the crazy part about it is that we'll circle back because we'll talk more about it. But he's not the worst villain in this movie.
Damn it, Uma.
I love Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman, you're cool. You're Uma Thurman.
You just came off Pulp Fiction. Like you're Uma Thurman, Kill Bill. Like I love Uma Thurman. This film, the Come and See Me Again.
Come on.
Baby, boop.
Wow.
I gotta do to get a girl like me. And oh my God.
I've never been good at competition.
Like you this is the height of Batman the Animated Series. Like, if you didn't want to pick up a comic book, literally all you had to do was go watch the cartoon.
Just a couple of great episodes. Just watch them.
Just watch the cartoon. And but I don't know
anything else.
I don't know what she did. But here's again I'm a nerd, and then something happens to me. And I turned to and the creation of Poison Ivy with the mad scientist killing her.
Yeah.
I'm like this can't be a real movie.
No.
This can't be a real movie.
There's no way people looked at the script and was like, "Yep, that's it. Let's do it."
This is it. This is what we need right here. You guys nailed that. Like,
she's talking to herself the whole time, and like, when she's the nerd, she's like, I'm a super nerd, and then she falls in the bed and comes out. My skin is filled with aloe. My blood is filled with chlorophyll.
Yeah, she already knew. She already knew her powers. She already knew her powers.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know that would happen to you when you were dead?
When you just died, like literally,
that was in your body. And you're like, ooh, that's chlorophyll.
That's all that is.
How do you know?
I know. I'm a botanist. She's a botanist.
That's fair.
I'm a tingle with the world plants.
Those gloves, those green, big old, it look like the gloves that went on the Power Ranger villains.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
the fitters with this big. Like, why are those gloves? Anyway, the gloves bother me a lot.
It's so much bothered me a lot about this, and then everybody drooling. Like, you're gonna literally let this woman walk into your face and blow in your face and repeatedly, and like, I see you doing it. I don't think I want to be by you.
You're slow motion blowing in my face. You just did it like 4 times. I know what's gonna happen. Oh, really?
What's with DC and them, the characters not recognizing who people are just because they wear glasses?
Like, aren't
Like
you like the best detective
greatest
ever?
detective in the world, and
Yeah.
and you don't recognize this is the same lady, and that was talking about saving the plants, and the chick is
In
dressed
your
like a plant,
face.
and you can't put two and
Because
two together about who this
her
is.
hair was brown, a brown wig, and now it's red.
Now it's a red wig. I knew it was something about you. Like it was so. But you know what? But you know what's crazy? Like, and
Yeah.
she's horrible. She's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's still not the worst villain of this movie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She's not the worst villain of this movie. So you was like Arnold Schwarzenegger has to be the worst villain in this movie. Nope. Poison Ivy has to be the worst villain in
It's
this
gotta
movie.
be. No.
Bane is the
Gets
worst
worse.
villain
Gets worse.
of this movie.
Golly.
Like you legit did not.
Nothing. They did nothing.
In the comic book, Bane is like genius level
Brilliant.
smart. He's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Super smart.
This dude is walking around Bane, rock, bomb.
Oh, right. Yeah, they did nothing. They tried nothing. They
They
had some
tried not
brainless monster.
for no reason. Like you already had strong Mr. Freeze. Like Mr. Freeze in the movie is strong,
Super strong.
so it's not like you needed like somebody strong with poison ivy. It didn't make sense.
Right. She could just do her poison ivy thing. She can control some vines. Do
Yes,
all the cool things.
she did not need
She just
like
kisses people and blows pheromones in their face.
that's it. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
how do you beat Batman and Robin like
how,
that?
how did you beat Batman and Robin? Like just fighting like that. So the villains of this movie is it's difficult, man. It's
Yeah,
difficult
I
to
mean, it
watch.
makes it. It's a horrible, horrible script. Horrible villains. The performances were terrible.
Terrible. Terrible.
Even people who I like, even Chris O'Donnell, who I thought did a really good job in the last one. I mean, he did what he could. Everyone kind of felt they drank the Kool-Aid, fell into what the director wanted. What are you gonna do with it?
But the Batman and Robin beefing and just going at it all movie. Well, no, and it was super annoying. But I'd be remiss to leave this chick out.
Oh.
I can't leave her out.
Alicia
Silverstone. Like let me tell you something. It's just something about the way that Alicia Silverstone talks out the side of her mouth.
I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say it.
That bothers the crap out of me. She just talks out of the side of her mouth.
I mean, I think it's an impediment, but it was way stronger in this movie than I've ever seen it.
I could deal with it in Clueless. I can deal with it in Clueless. I was fine. But Batgirl, I couldn't. Uncle Alfred.
Yeah. First of all, that's not your uncle. Your Batgirl is Commissioner Gordon's daughter.
So why did they change that?
Right. Because Commissioner Gordon sucked and no one cared about him.
Because nobody cared about Commissioner Gordon. Okay, let's talk about Alfred being fired again. Okay. So the last movie he was supposed to be fired because somebody broke into the Batcave and he said, "Skip it, you're part of the team. Let me make you a suit."
Sure.
This time, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm on my deathbed. I'm dying. Let me find my brother. But in the meantime, I know my nosy ass niece is going to my niece is going to break into that Batcave too, because who can't break into the Batcave?
Because it's very easy to break into.
And then it did its Batcave thing. Intruder. Oh, hello. I knew you was going to pop in here, so I took the liberty of making you a suit.
Liberty of making you a suit too. You taking all the liberties, my man.
And now this one, she just knows a little jujitsu. So she is on the level of fighting with Batman and Robin.
Absolutely.
She knew how to use all the tools.
Yep.
She knew how to use all the gadgets. She can fight all the people.
Yep. God. Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, and
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember, but okay, so when Batgirl, and I don't know what's with Joel Schumacher and dropping everybody from the glass ceiling at the top of the buildings.
yeah,
Everybody has to come through the glass
they
ceiling.
have to.
Literally everybody came through the glass ceiling. I didn't even know they
He
made them in glass ceilings.
he doesn't know. He came up with one idea and then ran it. And that's this Joel Schumacher thing.
That's his thing.
The big top thing played the same music as for when they
Yep.
had the little monkey thing in this movie
Yep.
versus the big top. Boom, 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 boom. Like he
Yep.
did the exact same thing both times.
It's really bad. But so Batman says, "Who are you? I'm Batgirl." And he says something, but then he like asks, "Who are you?" He's like, "It's me, Bruce. It's Barbara." No shit.
Yeah, yeah, bitch. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But he didn't know. He didn't know that was he didn't know because she had that mask on that was Barbara.
Wow.
The greatest
You
detective did
the
not
greatest
know.
detective.
I that grind my gears so much.
That really grinds my gears.
Like there was no reason for him to say like who is it. He could have been like, yeah, I knew Alfred made you the suit. Like at least be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm the smartest person in the room. I already knew this was
Right.
happening. I just let it happen.
My thing, right, right. My thing is that I'm smart.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm kind of
wait,
smart.
Barbara, what? That's crazy.
That's so wild. Are you serious? Take the mask off again. That's
No, that's
crazy.
crazy.
Oh, okay. Good Lord. Okay. Let me
Batman Robin.
let me get this. Any last words you have to say about this movie?
Yeah. I mean, we talking about the worst villains. It's hard. Yeah, I think in my mind it is it. No, you know what? I'm gonna say that for sure, Mr. Freeze Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze is worse than Uma Thurman
Okay.
because
Fair?
Uma Thurman, she made a choice and just rode that shit all the way out.
It was the wrong choice, but yes, I
It was
understand what you're saying.
the wrong choice,
Yes.
but her director and no one else stopped her,
Mm-mm.
and she stuck with it and rode that out. They're probably like, wow, that's so good,
That's so good,
and
Uma.
she made the choice and went with it.
You're right.
Play sexy, be sexy. She did that. On Schwarzenegger, I have no idea what he was doing or why,
Or
or
why?
what he was saying, or how they let it happen.
And it's funny because when people interview like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like he loved the role. He's like, this is the movie. And I was like, what? You can't really believe that.
You can't believe
You
that.
can't really believe that. Like
You're not terrible. You're not terrible. You've done plenty of movies.
you're
Oh,
Arnold
you're quite good.
Schwarzenegger. You're Arnold Schwarzenegger in the height of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you've
Like
done everything already.
there's hold on. There's one last thing. Give me 2 seconds about this. But I I'm mad you made me watch that movie.
I made you,
Yes, I'm blaming this on you.
and that's fine. That's fine.
I'm blaming this completely on you because it was a struggle. Audience, it was a struggle.
It was so hard.
But just like the last movie, and look, if it hurts your feelings, everybody, I'm sorry, I don't care. But well, you know what? I do care because I don't want you to leave. Because I don't want you to leave, so I can't say I don't care. But look,
Oh, you
this
gonna
is
get
what
it?
happened. This is what happened, and I didn't know that. There's no reason. There's no reason that R.
No.
Kelly should have gave us a banger.
Gotham City. Oh.
R. Kelly gave us a banger for this movie. Not only did he give us
Right.
a banger, he gave us one and a remix.
There's a remix.
There's a remix,
Oh
and the
god.
remix is a banger. Okay, I'm not going to keep R. Kelly on the
Yeah, let's
screen that
let's get
long.
those off the screen before we.
I'm not gonna,
But I told you I love that song. I was so hyped to see that movie. We sing that
bro.
song
I,
years, decades before we knew it.
I forgot about it, until I just watched it and I was like, oh yeah, there's a Gotham City song.
City of Justice, City of Love.
City of Justice, City of
That's
Love.
all I'll say. Moving right
City
along.
of Peace.
Oh
well. Well, yeah. Glad your glass is empty because
yeah, I had to get through that one. I mean,
that was rough. That was rough.
Yeah. Go ahead and get what's your number? What's your number?
1 through 10?
Yeah.
0. And I'm not even being funny. I give that movie a 0.
Yeah, if it's possible to give it a 0, then I also give it a 0. Let me be honest. What was likable of that movie?
What was what?
Likable. I'm trying to say what was likable about that movie.
Please let me know.
Oh God, I'm not even trying to.
Nothing. Nothing.
I think I want to say is the thing I can't say.
Exactly.
You just said what was.
I just said it.
About the movie.
I'll take that. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry if I don't mean to offend. I'm not condoning anything that man did, but that song is the best thing that came out of that movie. That's it.
Gosh. Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm gonna give it the 1. If we can do 0, we'll give it 0.
But
I'll say 1 just because I'm sure there's something in there.
Yeah, no, there isn't. There really isn't. I wish I could give you. I wish I can go there with you. I can't. I can't give it anything. I've never struggled so much to watch a movie in my life.
Yeah, I think it's the worst movie on it. I can't think of a worse movie that I've ever watched.
Okay.
And so much worse now seeing it.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
I might have given it a 3 before. Now I'm like, oh no, it's not. It's not a 3. I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1 because of this.
What?
No, it's not even so bad that it's good. It's not even that. It's just bad.
It's just bad.
It's not so bad.
It's not a so bad it's good. There are movies that are so bad it's good.
Right.
This is not one of them. This is just a bad movie. Remember? Oh, we forgot to talk about when they're trying to pay for Poison Ivy and 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and then he pulls out the American Express Batman card.
That card,
never live home without the credit card. Who are they billing? Who gets the bill? Does Batman get the bill, or does Bruce Wayne get the bill?
Just having your own.
Who gets the bill?
There's a paper trail there. You're bad at keeping your secret, buddy.
He's very bad, and they're both sitting there admitting that they're millionaires in front of everybody.
Right? You can't afford. Right? I'll pay for it. Right?
So you can't afford it.
I'm gonna figure out who has $20 million or whatever he just bid.
Who has that much money in Gotham? Oh,
and you live with him because I remember that. Got it.
Bruce Wayne, but I can't tell because you have the little mask on. Right. I hate it.
Yeah. So much.
Hate it so much. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna wrap up here. I just want to let everybody know that look, you've went to the darkness with us. After this, it's all light.
We're gonna go up.
It's nothing but sunshine and rainbows after this.
When they go low, we go high.
When they go low, we go high. Because now we're gonna get into the next episode. Look, we're doing the Batman trilogy next. And Dark Knight's in there. Batman Begins. Dark Knight. What is it? Dark Knight Rises. That's it. But we'll see.
Open mind.
I do have open mind. I know it can't get any worse than what we just did.
Nothing gets worse than this.
Nothing gets worse than that. And this is actually the movies that brought up the question of who's the Batman, because everybody says Christian Bale is the best Batman. Oh, another thing about Val Kilmer. I'm not going to say George Clooney because he just phoned it in. But Val Kilmer also did a fine Batman voice without making it sound like I gotta talk like this.
Yes. Right. His Batman voice was like, it changed.
Yep. So slightly.
Right in there.
Yeah. So we have 2 Batmans that did a fine Batman voice. George Clooney just did George Clooney.
Yeah, he's talking himself the entire time.
Yeah, but now we're going to get into the worst Batman voice of all time by the so-called best Batman. But again, open mind. We're going to watch these movies.
Open mind. Let's see.
We're wrapping it up. So Whew. Thank y'all for taking that journey with us. You guys have just tuned into the I Snuck in Here podcast. Nuff said, who is the best Batman part 2. I want to thank Eltony for joining in on this journey with us. And we will see you next time. Till then, thank you for sneaking in with us. Don't get caught by the cops sneaking out.